It's Vegas Country 95.5 KWNR. What's going on? It is Ransom, and today's studio sessions, we've got the country trio Due West in studio. Thanks, guys, for coming by.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So, anyone who's familiar with your band knows that you guys produce some just incredible harmonies. But I remember reading online that you guys actually all met in Nashville, correct?
Yeah, it's true. About 10 years ago, we're all from the West. That's where the name comes from, Due West. I'm from Wyoming.
Arizona.
Matt Lopez here, by the way.
Brad Hull from Arizona.
Tim Gates from Utah.
And about 10 years ago, we went to a house party at the home of Dan Truman of Diamond Rio. I don't know if you're familiar with Diamond Rio.
I played one or two of their songs
yeah, I think so.
over the years.
We were all hanging out there, and we just met and started singing actually Diamond Rio tunes and Restless Heart and Shenandoah, McBride and the Ride, and started singing harmonies together, and we've been doing it together ever since.
Mm-hmm. So how cool is that? I mean, it's almost like fate then that you guys met.
It is.
Serendipitous moment.
Right?
Very serendipitous.
Yeah.
Now, you all have had very different paths on your way to Nashville, but one that really caught my attention was yours, Matt. You had a stint in New York for a while, and you're playing on subways, right?
Yeah, well, I was actually playing in the subway stations, yeah. What was cool about that is I was living out there. I was living in Jersey, actually, but I'd go into Manhattan, take my guitar in there, and down in the subway, stations, there is great acoustics because it's all tile. Mm-hmm. And like about every 7 minutes or so, sometimes sooner than that, a new train would come, and the people would get on and leave, and then the crowd would start building again. And two good things about it. One, that they would leave it, so I'd only have to, learn like 2 or 3 songs, which was nice. And the other good thing was they couldn't really go anywhere, so it's not like they could walk away. They were waiting for the train, so I had a captive audience.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any stories like that as well, or?
Well, together we've played in some pretty bizarre places. I can't think of any off the top.
Well,
of my head.
downtown Nashville, we got this big sign made of our faces. We had our buddy hold it, and we stood on the side of the street and had a tip jar and played music for like 4 hours, I remember. I couldn't speak the next day.
Now, speaking about Tip Jar, there's actually a song that you guys play in concert called Tip Jar. How did this idea come about? Because it's actually really cool if you want to tell us about what you do when you play the song.
Yeah, it's a song that Matt wrote with our friend Tom Worth, and it's a really cool song just about what it's like to play for tips in Nashville, because as a band, you can play anywhere in the country and make money, but in Nashville, you only get tips. And so it's kind of a little tribute to the Nashville bands. But we started playing it on the road a little bit, and we had somebody come up to us and say, we've got a charity, a family that needs some money in the area or whatever. I can't remember what it was. Maybe
For the cancer.
Oh, it was a
cancer
victim. It was
victim.
a friend, a little boy who had cancer. And we played and passed the tip jar around during that song, and in 3.5 minutes, we raised I can't remember if it was $700 or $800 or something like that, and we just have made that a tradition. And I think our record is one time we raised over $2,200.
Wow!
In that 3.5 minutes, and so it's kind of a cool thing to be able to raise money and give it to local people and kind of help out the community.
What a great story, and what a great idea. I mean, that was your idea, Matt?
Most great ideas are Matt's.
No, it was all our ideas.
Yeah. So, with the three of you guys all being songwriters, how does this affect the writing process when making an album? Is everybody guaranteed a certain number of songs on the record, or how does this work?
Not at all. I mean, we all write songs, and we put them in a little hat, work them up, and we give them to our producer, Garth Fundus, who is a big-time song guy. And sometimes he says, I'm not digging that, or I really dig this. And then we hear other songs that he's been listening to from the big writers in Nashville. And we just kind of picked what's the best songs. And fortunately, the first 4 that we've recorded for this new project have been 3 of the songs that we've written.
I see you guys have brought some instruments with you.
Yeah.
You want to do a song for us?
Yeah, absolutely.